Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is John Watts, consumer protection lawyer in Alabama. And in our last video, we talked about emotional distress damages from the FDCPA. And that is one type of actual or compensatory damages. What's the other type? Well, the other type is what's called economic damage. So that's monetary loss. And here's what I mean by that. Let me give you an example. So let's say that a debt collector calls me and I say, I'll pay you $100 a month. And they say, well, let us draft it out of your bank account. I say, sure. $100 a month. They go, oh, yeah. The first month they take $1,000. And then when I call them, they go, hey, too bad you owed us the money. We took it all right now. Good luck. Well, they would have lied to me. So that would violate the FDCPA. They broke their agreement. That would violate the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Well, would I have economic loss? Yeah, I'd have $900 of economic loss because they took that out when they had no right to take it. Now, their argument would be, well, you owed it to us, so we would have gotten it eventually. Well, but not today, okay? So it would be like this. If you owed me $500 and it was due in 2 weeks from now, and today I go and take that out of your house. Well, see, I'm owed the money anyway, but it wasn't due then. I had no right to go take it. So that would be economic loss. Well, what if a debt collector is calling my work and, I say, look, you're not to call me at work anymore. And they continue to call me at work. That violates the FDCPA. If I tell them we have a policy not to receive these type of calls. And then they start calling my coworkers. That's called an office party. They call all your coworkers to really cause you problems. They call your supervisor and say, you got this bum working for you. They call HR, payroll, say, we're going to garnish his wages, even though they don't have a judgment. And I lose my job. Well, if this is what I was making, and now I'm making this much, that's my economic loss, okay? For at least a reasonable period of time till I can get another job. Well, there might be other economic losses. Maybe I've lost now my company provided insurance and now I'm having to pay for it myself. So I may have lost matching contributions with 401k. So whatever those economic losses are. Now, another example could be, let's say a mortgage company, which is often a debt collector under the FDCPA. Let's say they foreclose on me with no legal right to do that. That would violate the FDCPA. And my house is $300,000 and I owe $175,000. So how much equity did I have? Well, how much is it worth minus how much did I owe? So there'd be $125,000 of equity. They take my house and they had no legal right to take it. I've lost $125,000 right there. Boom. That's economic loss. So, let's say a debt collector puts false information on your credit report, and instead of getting a 4% mortgage, you end up with a 6% mortgage. Well, that spread, that 2%, is going to be your damages. Or maybe you get the same interest rate, but your mortgage company says you have to put more down because of your credit score. Or you have to pay down the points. So usually a point is considered 1% of the loan. So you got to put a couple points down. So again, that may be a couple grand that costs you. So anytime a debt collector has violated the law, we've talked about this in another video, if this is the standard, this is the line, and they go beyond the line, they violated the law, then we look and we say, how has that damaged you? It could be emotionally. It could be you're upset, your heart's pounding, your stomach is up. We talked about in the last video. But it can also be economic. They may have literally taken money from you. It may have cost you your job or a promotion, or you didn't get the security clearance, so you don't get the extra money. They may have cost you in terms of a loan. Maybe you get turned down for a loan. Maybe you get the loan, but it's at a higher interest rate. Maybe they take your house that has equity. Maybe they pick up your car when they have no right to repossess your car, and then they dispose of it and you had equity in the car. Any type of economic loss, you always want to brainstorm with your lawyers. What are all the economic losses I've suffered, and what are all the emotional distress? You put all that together, because here's what these debt collectors do. I'm talking about with good lawyers defending them. Every single conversation is the same way. Whenever I sue a debt collector, the lawyer calls me and says, John, I don't really think we did anything wrong, but let's just assume we did something wrong. I mean, your client gets $1,000, but there's nothing else here. It's not like this really hurt them. It's not like it really affected them. I mean, this is no big deal. Tell you what, John, we'll pay them. We're generous, John. We're really generous. Part of it's because of you. We'll pay the full $1,000 statutory damages, and then we'll get you a few dollars for your attorney's fee, and this whole thing will go away. So I'll go ahead and get the paperwork because this case is settled. I go, excuse me? What about the economic loss? I go, oh, there can be no economic loss. I've never had a case with economic loss. I go, well, we've had a ton of these cases with economic loss. How about emotional distress? And they're like, John, no jury would ever award a single penny for emotional distress damages. Here's what we say to them. We go, how many jury trials have you had with the FDCPA? Well, we just, I went to a seminar and everybody knows you cannot get any emotional distress. Oh, really? So that's cute that you went to a seminar. How many times have you stood in front of a jury and had the jury come back with a verdict where somebody has requested emotional distress damages? And they'll kind of dodge and weave, and eventually the answer is 0. Okay? They don't try these cases. We've tried these cases. We know what emotional distress damages can be. We understand 6-figure emotional distress awards because our background is doing personal injury. Our background is trying fraud cases. We understand how to prove emotional distress, how to prove economic damages. And so these lawyers that defend these cases, they'll just tell you just with absolute certainty, you can never get anything besides statutory damages. I'm like, well, that's funny. Every one of our verdicts would say otherwise. So point is, talk about this with your lawyer. Make sure you're claiming under your jurisdiction, under your rules, all the emotional distress damages you can. Go back and look at the previous video. Maybe I'll figure out how you connect a video here, but I'll put it in the description if nothing else. But also economic damages, what we're talking about here. Understand both of those if you're suing an abusive debt collector. And then we've talked about this in other videos. Punitive damages, you can't get those under the FDCPA, but under state law, if you have the right state law claim, maybe invasion of privacy, malicious prosecution, fraud, whatever it may be, that can allow you to get punitive damages. So just consider the whole picture, and maybe I'll do another video on that just so these will be kind of together. But anyway, hope that that's helpful to you. If you live in Alabama, have any questions, 205-879-2447 or alabamaconsumer.com. Thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.